Hey everyone, welcome back. So today we're going over everything building mode in Heartopia. So I tried to go over basically everything I could possibly think of with the basic building mode, the advanced building mode, blueprints, co-op building, how to build roofs, everything like that. So definitely check out the timestamps below and I hope this video helps out. So let's get right into it. So first things first, we're going to go into how you can unlock your plots. So what you're going to want to do is head over to your watch, go over to the Developers Guild, click on that, and it's going to bring you to this page. So at the top right, you're going to see level, there's going to be plot, and then there's going to be evaluate. So in the middle icon here that looks like 4 plots of land, this is where you're going to be able to unlock your plots. So you're going to notice that if some of them have these locks on them, those are plots that you have not unlocked. You may need to either unlock the prerequisite plot. So that would mean if this one's locked, I would have to unlock this one. And then if you still can't unlock it, then you're going to have to level up your DG membership. So the DG membership is right here. And as you see, once I hit level 21, I'm going to be able to have 11 plots. So then I'm going to be able to unlock this one. So if you're not able to unlock it, that's most likely why. Or you may not have enough money. So it's one of those reasons, either you haven't unlocked the one beforehand, or you haven't reached the DG membership level, or you may not have enough gold. All right, and then to get into building mode, you're gonna want to press on this icon here. So it is a house with a wrench, so you can go ahead and click on that, and there's going to be 2 different modes. First, we have solo building and we have co-building. So solo building is what we're going to go into first. We're going to go ahead and click on that. And then you're going to be brought to this page. So it's going to be your plot, but there is going to be a building fence around. So the building fence goes around the whole plot, even the pieces of land that you have not unlocked. So you'll notice that the pieces of land that you haven't unlocked are kind of unkept. They have rocks on it. There's like this little fence kind of around it, kind of showing the plots. So on this land here, I'm not going to be able to build, but on the flat surface, I am going to be able to build. So that's what we are going to do today. We're going to go through the different icons. There is this book icon here. This just gives a tutorial of the regular building mode. So this is the mode that we're currently in right now. Then you have these 2 arrows. So this is the back button, or if you went back and you want to redo it. So it's kind of like the back and forward buttons. This is your load amount. So this tells you how much you can have on your plot. So this is the full load. This is the creative showcase load, bubble machine, counter, fish tanks, vivarium, which I actually am not too sure what that is. I haven't put that in yet, or at least I don't think I have. And then flowers. So you can only have 24 flowers, 10 counters, 3 bubble machines, and so on. So this tells you if you are close to hitting the load. Sometimes you'll be putting down flowers and you might notice that you can't put any more. It's most likely because you've hit the load limit. Then over here, which is really good, we have this icon, which is the environment. So, which is really nice because I don't want it to be dark right now. So you can actually adjust the time here, which is really, really cool because if you're working at night, kind of like I work a lot at night, and you don't want to be building in the dark, you can make it so you're not building in the dark. And now you're building while it's sunny. Once you leave the building mode, it won't stay sunny. It's going to go back to the regular time that you're in, but at least we're building. This is an amazing feature. I really, really like this because I do build a lot at night, and maybe some of you build a lot at night as well. So this is amazing. And then we have this here. So this is your gold. This is how much gold that you have. And this is what you can use to spend while building. So as you build, you might notice that it will go down as you place items. And then once you destroy, if you remove something, you get that gold back. So unless you save it, then the gold will stay down. If you decide to delete everything and you don't want it anymore, you get that money back. And then we have trial mode. So let's say you're building, right, and you have a house and you want to see what it looks like without exiting the building mode. You can actually press trial, and then it will allow your character to move freely around without building, which is also really cool because it allows you to get a feel for what the house is like without having to leave the building mode multiple times. You can just do it from right here, which I really enjoy this feature. Okay, and then we have these 4 icons down here. So the first one is your furniture. So this is all the furniture that you own. You can place it in the world. So let's say I want to place this couch. I can go ahead and place it. And that's super easy. If you want to place like your chair, you can go ahead and do that. So super, super easy. One tip with this, so let's say I'm placing down this bathtub and I want to rotate it. You can go ahead and use this rotate button down here. And then once it's ready, you can just place it down. And then another cool tip here is if you have an item, I'm trying to find one. So let's say you have this bed and you want to dye it. So mine's currently pink, but you can use this paintbrush icon to just dye it, and then it will allow you to dye it from right here. So you don't have to actually dye it at your workbench each time. You can just do it right from here. And then there you go. Super easy. I like this too, so you don't have to remember to dye your items from the workbench. You can just do it right in the building mode, which is honestly quite amazing. And if you want to get rid of an item, you can just press this red box here and then it will remove the item for you. All right, and next we have the building materials. So this is going to be things such as your flooring, your walls, your doors, windows, roof, vents, stairs, pillars, and then other items here. So if you put down a flooring, go ahead and do that, and then put them down. So that's your flooring. And then for walls, there are 3 types of walls. So we have this large wall, then we have this kind of medium half wall, and then we have the short wall. So these are the 3 types of walls. And then the flooring also acts as a roof. So when you're placing things down, you're going to notice that there is a grid. So see this grid here? You can place the items or the flooring on any part of it. So you can place it even in the middle to create a floor, or you can place it up on top. And that is how you make a roof on your house, basically. So you're going to place it up on here. And then to be able to get this grid is I walk up close to the wall and I take the flooring as I do that. And I just kind of like put it against it. It was a little bit difficult at first, but as you play around with it, it gets like a lot easier. And you can do that with the short one as well, just like that. And then from there, we have the doors. So doors are super simple. You have to have a wall up to be able to place a door. So at least 1 wall. I'm going to place 2 just so I can show you the door and the window. So this is your door. You can place it there. You can actually rotate it. So if you want to change like which side the door opens. So you can just go ahead and do that. And now it's going to open on the other side. And then we also have your windows. So there's a bunch of types of windows here that you can play around with. For this tutorial, I'm just going to use this window here, or maybe not because it doesn't fit. We'll use this window here, and then you can just place it. And also the same thing as the furniture, you can dye the items here as well. So just use this little paintbrush and you can go ahead and dye it. So you can go ahead and do that. And there you go. Perfect. And that is our door and window. Okay, and then we move into the roofs. So there are 4 different types. The types honestly are just aesthetic. They all do the same thing. But I'm going to show you how to make a roof. So basically what we need is we're going to start off. So I have flooring here, and honestly this is the regular building mode. It's a lot easier in the expert building mode, but or the advanced building mode, but we'll just go over that later in the video. If that's something that you're looking for, just check the timestamps below. But this right now, we're just focusing on the regular building mode for people just to learn if they want to do it this way. I recommend not doing it this way because it's so much easier the other way, but just in case you want to. So we go like that, and then we put our walls down. And sometimes it's a little bit, sometimes it doesn't work with us and we just have to play around with it a little bit, honestly, but There we go. Okay, perfect. So we have our walls down, and then as you know, we have to place the flooring as the roof, right? So this acts as a roof. We go ahead and do that. And then you take the roof, and all you have to do is just plop it right on top. So it actually has this little button here. It looks like kind of a square with some triangles sticking out. And this will allow you to edit the roof. Again, in the advanced building mode, it's so much easier. I highly recommend just doing it that way. But if this is something that you want to do, then you could definitely do this. Totally up to you. But yeah, so what you can do is you place the roof down, right? So we're gonna go ahead and do that. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to just put this back here, go into this little icon down here, and then we are going just to edit it so that it fits. So the base length is by 2, and you can kind of like play around with it and see if it fits. So this, I guess, looks like it fits. I don't even know. Kind of, it looks like it does, but it also doesn't look like it does at the same time. No, that definitely does fit. And then you can play around with the height of it. So if you want like a really tall roof for whatever reason, you could definitely do that. You can change the curvature of the roof. So if you want more of like an inward curvature, or if you want kind of like a barnyard sort of look, or just something kind of in the middle where it's just like a little peak, you can do that as well. This is the base length. So it's going to lengthen this way and then that way. So you can kind of see that. And then this is how wide it is. So see how it's kind of super small right now, and then it's super wide, and then we put it back. And we just basically want it to fit our little square here, and then press OK. And that is our roof. It's a very basic one, very, very basic. In the advanced mode, I'm going to go into this a little more in depth. I just want to show the basics for how you can do this in the regular building mode. Yeah, so that's basically it. If you want to dye it, it's the same thing. So just pick it up and then press the paintbrush button, and then you can just dye it whatever you feel works best for you. I mean, mine's kind of ugly, but just so you can get the idea of how that works. And then we have the fences. So there are a bunch of different types. They all basically do the same thing. You can place them down and then they connect with each other. You can also, what you can do is if you have, let's say, this flooring here, like the roof, you can actually place them on it like this. It's a really small section, so it's kind of hard to like see, but you're able to place them up high if you want to make like railings, stuff like that. So they all kind of do different things. You could just play around with them to see what you like. And of course, you can dye them as well. So just click on the paintbrush and then you can go ahead and dye them. And they all dye. So like this, you can dye this one, or you can even dye like just each of them. They're able to be dyed. Some have multiple parts and some don't. So you can just play around with it and see what looks best for you and your home. And then next we move into the stairs. So there are 2 types of stairs. There's either these really long ones here. So you can just place those down. There's these long ones. Or we have these shorter ones. So what we can do is you can place stairs down like this. And then as you place them, you'll see that there's a grid that pops up. So this allows you to place the stairs kind of like this. You can even do like a floating stair here. One second. There we go. There's the grid. So like that. And you can go upwards even more. And then you can go like that. And then an easy way to connect them is just by using flooring. So you can go ahead and put the flooring down and flooring. And then with the stairs, there's also railings. So you can just use the railings like this. Sometimes, truthfully, I do have a hard time connecting them. So if you have a hard time, you're not the only one. I also have a hard time sometimes. But there we go. We can connect them like that. And then we can go up here and put it on the other side. And then you could do the same thing for the other ones as well. So like, for example, if I delete, let's say, a couple of these here, and you want to use maybe this one instead, to make it match the actual staircase, you could definitely do so. And they connect really well. So like this is how they're connecting here, and then you can turn this one around and have that connect like that. And yeah, so there we go. If you find it's like really hard at first, just like kind of play around with it and it eventually connects. So there we go. And then the same thing for the long ones. So if you put the long staircase like that and you want to use the railings, it fits the exact same way. So again, sometimes it does take a moment for it to like want to connect. But eventually it does. And then you can put your railings up just like that. Yeah, see, like sometimes it like doesn't want to work and I have to go up on them. But there we go. And that is your stairs and your railings. And next we have pillars. So we have this pillar here that you can place down. So you can place it and then you can actually edit the height. So before even placing it, you can edit how tall you want it to be. So it can be like a really tall chimney or a really short one, depending on what you prefer. And then we also have pillars. So pillars can be used for like many different things. It can be used to hold up a floor, or you can just use it for like aesthetic reasons, like using it to kind of do something like, oh, one second, like this. Like some people will put them at the corners of their house just to kind of give it that like that look, you know what I mean? There's different types. There's like stone pillar. We have this pillar here, which you can also change the height of if you would like. And then there's also, what's it called? Like these ones here, like kind of skinnier ones. Like maybe if you're making a deck or if you want to make like a modern home, you can use these pillars here to get that kind of like modern home look that where they have like all those random pillars and on it, if you know what I'm talking about. So this is how you could achieve that, and then put some like walling around it, and that could be like a modern home type of vibe. For whatever reason they do that. If you know the reason, let me know. Oh, well, you might want to line it up a bit better than I did, of course. Like I didn't really line it up that well. Like you'd have to put it back one so that it lines up properly. But like, yeah, many different ways to use pillars, and you could also dye them. The same thing, the paintbrush. If you see the paintbrush, you can use it for anything here. So yeah. And then we have some miscellaneous items here. I found that I got these like randomly as I was upgrading my DG level. So if you don't have them, that may be why. I'm not too sure when I did receive them, but yeah, so just keep an eye out for that. But here's some flowers here that we can place down. There's also these ones, and unfortunately they cannot be dyed, so they are the pink and blue. And then we also have these types of pillars, so they're like the sideways ones. So if it would let me place it down, probably because I have something there, but there we go. Like on the wall, you can place like this here, something like that. And we also have shelves, which is kind of neat. You can add different shelving like that. So that's the miscellaneous. I'm sure there's going to be other things added as the game goes on, but so far this is what I have in my list. So, and it might be different depending on if your level is lower or higher. So just keep that in mind. All right, and then also we are going to move into the brush tool. So the brush tool is basically how you can put like wallpaper or flooring or roofing on your items. So right now they're all just the basic. So if I want to go ahead and place a stone wall, I would choose the brush tool and choose wall and then pick one of them. So I just choose the stone one here, and you have a bunch of colors you can choose from. So you can choose whichever color you would like. There's also a dropper tool. So how the dropper tool works, at least from what I've noticed, is that let's say you have a wall, right? So you've been dyeing the walls. So let's say you've been dyeing the walls, and then you add another room to your house, right? And you want it to match this wall here. So what you can do is you can use the dropper tool and then select this wall, and then it will actually give you the exact wall pattern as well as the color so that you can easily add it to the walls that you've just added. So you don't have to like kind of like mix and match and like guess to remember what you used. It makes it just a lot easier so that you can just use the dropper and then start painting your new walls. And then we also have flooring. So there's different types of flooring, of course, and I'm assuming as we get higher levels or the game goes on, we'll get more flooring patterns. But for right now, these are the flooring patterns that we have. The same thing, you can select one that works best for you and then choose a color that works best, and then you can start going ahead and putting it down. And then the dropper works the same way, the exact same way. And then we have roofing. So this is for your ceiling. And the ceiling is just the underneath of the floor here. So you choose your ceiling pattern, and then you choose your ceiling color, and then you can put it down, and that is your ceiling. I would show you more, but I don't have any other ceiling to work with other than that one. Like, I guess I have the underneath of here, but yeah, it's only the underneath of the flooring that you can color. And to show you it in a better color, because I picked a really bad color there we go. That's the flooring, or the ceiling, sorry. And then we have our combinations. So these are sets that we are given or that we unlock, and basically what it does is it allows you to put down kind of like a preset of a like furniture here. So I have this furniture preset here, and I can place that down. If you find that you have them, but they are all grayed out, it's because you don't own all of the pieces. So what you can do is, let's say I want this Echo of Vacation set, and it's grayed out, right? So what you can do is click on the question mark, and it's going to tell you what you need to be able to use the preset. So I'm gonna need the hand lantern, the Swiss cheese plant, the parasol, the lounger, tea table, and so on. So I need all of these. And once I have all of these in my inventory, then you can place down the set. So I was able to place this one down because I own all of these pieces. And then I'm able to just go ahead and place it. So to show you here, it says that I own all the pieces here. And what's really nice is that Bob kind of tells you what's going on here. Yeah, so there you go. And there's also this one here, which is kind of cool. So you can place that down if you want. There's also houses as well. So here's a fully furnished bedroom. Again, you need to have all of these pieces to be able to place it down. We have this simple bright light room. So the same thing. You need all the pieces. So, and then the same thing here. And then we have structures. So these are housing structures. You will need to have enough money to be able to place them down. So for these ones here, you don't necessarily need all the pieces, because in the building mode, you get pieces just by buying them in the building mode, but you will need at least like enough money. Oh my gosh, I'm like inside of it. But you will need enough money to be able to purchase it. If you don't have enough money, then you're not going to be able to save. So that is something to keep in mind. All right, so that is basically it for the basic building mode. We are going to move into the advanced building mode now. So in the advanced mode, both halves of your screen have a different purpose when you click and drag your mouse. So always think there's like an invisible line that's here. So on the right side, when you click and drag, it will rotate the camera. So see how it's rotating around? And then on the left side, when you click and drag, it's going to move the camera in and out, left and right. So see how that's like that? So always think there is an invisible line here. So it makes it so much easier when you're moving around, when you know that this exists, because at first, like, it can be so frustrating trying to move stuff around and you're kind of confused why it's not working. It's because there's an invisible line here. So again, the right side is for your camera to move it around. The left side allows you to move like in and out. See this here? See how that works? So like up and then side to side. So side like that, and then up and down and all around. I hope that makes sense. All right, so now for the advanced building mode, we're gonna click this icon up here. It looks like a person with an arrow up and arrow down. So you're gonna click on that. And this brings you to an advanced mode. So you're able to move around. You can go up and down. You can go side to side. So it allows you to build your house. I find it a lot easier to actually build the foundation of the house this way. A really nice feature of the advanced building mode is we have this sledgehammer icon here. So if you click on it, you can remove items just by clicking. And then you can also do a continuous selection. So if you click down in this area down here, so there's a toggle for single selection and continuous selection. This will allow you to remove multiple things just by clicking and dragging. So it makes it so much easier. So I'm actually going to clear my area. I have it saved, so I don't mind removing everything just to show you guys how it works and how easy it is if you want to start fresh. You could honestly just use the sledgehammer tool here and then click on continuous selection, and then now the whole area is clear to start building. And then the next icon I want to go over is this camera icon. So basically what this does, it realigns you from the beginning starting point. So let's say you're moving around and you're like, oh, I don't like the way this looks. I just want to go back to the original spot that I was. So you're just going to click on this icon here, and it centers you. It puts you right back at the very front of your build, just to make it a bit easier if you do need to go back. And then we have the same icons as we saw in the normal building mode. So you're going to have your furniture, you're going to have your building materials, your brushes, and your combinations. So there's not too much of a difference other than the fact that you are able to just see a bit better. So I'll give you an example. If I'm building, let's say, a little house here, see how much easier it is for me to place down my flooring. Instead of doing it one by one, you can do it in a continuous area. Same with the walls. You can do the same thing here. Copy, and then you can rotate this way. And sorry, sometimes it is a little bit, there we go. So go like that. And see how much easier it is for you to quickly build the house in the advanced mode. You don't have to do one by one, which honestly, I don't recommend doing it. I recommend using the regular building mode for more simple things like decorating your house, or maybe even like a smaller area. But if you're trying to make a bigger build, I recommend using this here because it's going to be so much quicker and so much easier for you. So for example, we have the roof here. So like before where we had to use that toggle, we actually can use these arrows here. So you place the roof on, you can change the fit of it just by using these arrows. So the arrows are what's going to make it longer and wider. So see here, it makes it longer and wider. And then these circles is what's going to change the style of the roof. So if we go inwards, you get more of a curvature. If you go outwards, it's more of an outward curvature. And then you can also do the regular triangle shape as well. So much easier. All right, so let's say you have multiple floors of your home, and while you're in the advanced building mode, you want to go through and edit a specific layer. So that's where this icon comes in. This is where it allows you to edit different layers of your home without needing to go into your basic mode or leave the advanced building mode or anything like that. So what you're going to do is you're going to click on it. So now it's going to say that you've enabled it, and then you're going to have this icon over here. So this is like a magic ruler, and if you click on it, and you can drag either up or you can drag down, and as you see, each layer is being exposed. So you can see now I'm on the second layer here, and I'm able to edit. Let's say I want to go back to the main floor, so I'm going to just go down, and now we can see the main floor. So it makes it really easy so that you can edit each layer as you go without needing to leave. So see, now I'm on my main floor and it's at 0M, and I want to go back to I want to edit something on my second floor. So there we go. And now I'm on my second floor and I can go ahead and I can place my bedding down or some more walls, or I can put down wallpaper, whichever you want to do. And it helps while you are building as well. So now we're going to be building on the second floor. And something I've seen a lot is, let's say you're trying to place something on your second floor while using the layers tool here, and you're going to notice that there is this red circle. So this red circle means that you can't save it, you can't place it down, right? But there's nothing here. The reason this is happening is because there's hidden layers. And even though there's nothing in the way, because there is a hidden layer, the system is like, I don't want, like, it's not allowing us to save it, to try to put in the best terms. And so a way that you can do this to kind of do a workaround, and I know it's kind of annoying, and hopefully this gets resolved. Hopefully, but let's say I want to place this pillar here for some reason, right? So I'm trying to place it and it's giving me this red circle, even though we see that there's nothing here. So what we're going to do is we're going to put it here. This is exactly where I want it. I'm going to press this layers icon. And even though I cannot see it, I know it's in the right spot. So then we can press save, and then we go back. And as you see, the layer has been, or not layer, the pillar or this corner piece, whatever you want to call it, has been placed. So I know it's not super ideal, but it is a workaround if you are trying to place something on your second floor while in the advanced building mode and the system is just like not allowing you to. This is the best workaround that I've found so far. And it only seems to happen with the building materials. I haven't noticed it with the actual furniture. Like, as you see, I'm able to place furniture down no problem on the second floor. But when it comes to some of the building materials, like specifically these pillars here, like if I'm trying to add one maybe in the corner for some reason, like whichever reason you're just trying to build and make your house look nice, you're going to notice there's that red thing, like the red square here. And just go ahead and press this icon again, place it down, press it again so you can see, and then it is there. So if that is something that has been bothering you, trust me, I know it's a little bit frustrating, but for now, this seems to be the best workaround from what I've seen. All right, and next I'm going to go into the precision here. So let's say you're trying to place a door down and you're noticing, so if you notice here, the door is only attaching to these solid lines. So see how it's attaching to this solid line, that solid line, and you're not able to place it on the dotted line. So if you press precision, it actually allows you to move it on to the dotted line as well. So let's say you are putting down this door and you want it to be right in the middle. So instead of it being on just the white lines, so see how I can try to zoom in a little bit. There we go. Okay. So see how it's only going onto these white lines, the solid lines. So see how when I move it, it's only going on those ones, but I really want it to be in the center right here. So you're going to press precision, and then it's going to allow you to move the door or whichever item you're trying to move onto these white lines. And just like I mentioned a moment ago, because it's red here, we know that there's nothing in the way. So you'll have to click on, oh, there we go. Click on that, and then you can press save. And now it's saved on the dotted line. All right, so I know I went over how to build a roof earlier in the video, but I'm just going to go over it once more in the advanced mode. So here we have our base, and I want to put a roof on. But if you notice, when you go to try to put a roof on, it doesn't work. It's not working, and you're like, what is happening? So you have to put a ceiling on first, and you might notice there is no section that says ceiling, but the ceiling is basically the floor. So what you're going to do is you're going to place a flooring on top here. So if you see that there are a bunch of grids, and what you want to do is you want to take a flooring piece and move it right up to the top. So right up to this top grid here. And then you can expand it and press OK. and that is going to be your roof. So this is your ceiling. This is your ceiling, and this is what your roof is going to stick to. So if we go back to the building materials and select our roof, so I'm going to go ahead and select this one, we can then go ahead and place a roof on top of it. So this is not absolutely perfect. It looks a little funky. We can play around with it. Sometimes it does do that where it will fall to the bottom. All you have to do is just pick it back up. That happens to me too. It's kind of annoying, but it happens sometimes here and there. So you can make a tall roof, a short roof. You can make a round roof, an inner, I don't know if this is like an inner roof. I'm not too sure. Up, down. Then we have longer, and then we have thinner. So thin, how wide it is. So, and there we go. That is how you can build your roof. And then if you want to build, let's say you have a house kind of like this, where one section's this way, one section's that way, and you want to build a roof. So what you can do is once you place your first part of the roof, you can click a new one and add it to your second section here and just make it fit. So we'll go ahead and make it fit onto it. And you might notice there is a little gap. So if you like the gap, you can keep it, or you can actually like make it go inwards. So it can actually go all the way to the other side like that. It goes right through it without any problems. So now you have two roofs. One goes all the way through the first roof, and then the second one goes all the way through the first part. So it kind of looks a little bit normal that way. So you don't have any gaps or anything like that. And then you can add your windows and whichever you would like to do. So now I'm going to go into the multi-select mode again. This is in the advanced building section. So let's say you have a section here that you really like. You like the way this looks, but you want to move it over somewhere else. So instead of deleting it and moving everything over one by one, just click on this icon right up here. It looks like two squares with a check mark in the middle, and select all of the items that you want to move. So you go ahead and, I guess that's stuck to the chair. Or the table, sorry, but select all of them here. So you'll see all of them selected, and then we can press move all. Oh, I didn't have the one selected, my bad. 1 second. Oh, 1 second. Okay, so select everything that you want to move and press move all, and then you can move it wherever you want. It makes it so much easier. Instead of having to delete everything and move it over, you can just select everything all at once. From what I've noticed, this only works for furniture. It doesn't work for buildings. Correct me if I'm wrong, but from my testing, that's what I've noticed. But yeah, makes it so much easier so you don't have to. Or if you want to actually delete it. So let's say you don't like this whole section and you don't want to delete it with the other deleting tool, like the sledgehammer tool here. So you can actually go in, select all of them, and press remove all. I knew that wasn't selected, but whatever. There we go. And there, yeah, this tool is pretty great, specifically if like you really want to move something over. So say you really like your house, but you want to start working on a new one and you don't want to get rid of this one here that you've been working really hard on. Well, you can use what's called blueprints. So the blueprint section is found in your watch. So you can go ahead and select blueprint. And then once you're there, select import, and then it's going to ask you if you want to import your current home. So you're going to go ahead and select that, and it's going to give you a couple of images that you can choose from. So I'm going to choose this one, and then you can name it. So I'm going to do test house and then confirm creation. And there we go. So then you saved the house of the blueprint, and then you can go ahead and you can destroy this one and start building a new one. And if you want to, let's say, use the blueprint, so you go back over to the blueprint section, and I want to use this home here. So I can do view, and I can do apply blueprint, and then you can actually click and drag where you want your house to be located. So I want mine to be over this way, and I can press confirm. And there we go. And your house is here. So this is my first house that I had. And then if you want to, let's say, do it again, you could just go back to blueprint, press view. You can apply the blueprint. Oh, I did it too many times, but you get what I'm saying. And you can also edit it. So you can edit it in solo building mode or co-op building mode. If you don't have the blueprint section in your watch, you will have to be at least DG member level 8 to have the blueprint feature unlocked. So, just right here, if you're not DG member level 8, you won't have it unlocked. But once you get to level 8, then you'll have it unlocked there for you. So, it's just right here. And then lastly, we have co-op building mode. So this is where you can build with your friends and to be able to add your friends. So once you're in the co-op building mode, there are some different sections here. So there is a chat section, there's a emotes or solo action section, and then right at the top here where it looks like a person with a plus sign. So this is where you can add your friends. So I have my friends here, and you will have to have at least friendship level 3 with them before you're able to invite them. So there are a few that I can't invite just because I'm not friendship level 3, but once you reach friendship level 3, you can go ahead and click invite, and then they can actually come over here and start building with you. And then the same features still apply, so you can still change the weather. You can also do oh, sorry, you can't go to premium mode, but you can put down furniture, you can put down walls, you can paint your house as well. You can use the combos. So you can use all those things here. You are still also able to go into trial mode, so you can go around and test out the house to see if you like it. So all of the features are still here, but instead of building by yourself, you're building with your friends. Well, guys, that is it for today's video. I hope that I was able to answer all of your building questions. If there is anything that I did miss, please feel free to ask in the comments below, and I will see you guys later. Bye!